Would you care to guess what the number 10,000 hours represents? It is roughly the amount of time that it takes us to reach mastery of a single skill. To put this into perspective, let's say that it takes me 15 hours to make one YouTube video. If I create one video per week, it will still take me more than a decade of videos just to reach the 10,000 hour mark. I will be over 30 by then, which is kind of scary. You're telling me that in my lifespan, I can only become great at 2, maybe 3 things if I'm lucky. In a world full of opportunities, I want to be so many things. I want to be a writer, a YouTuber, a professional football player, a boxer. The list goes on and on. But I only have one life where I can chase mastery of a small set of skills. And if that implies that I have to be average at just about everything else, then so be it. So ever since I was young, I've wanted to be the best at everything. I wanted to be the best student, the best athlete, the best friend. But no matter how hard I tried, there was always one kid who managed to edge me out. Maybe they had better grades than me, but they sacrificed their health. They were a little fat. Or maybe there was a kid that was better at sports than me, but he had bad grades. I felt like I was always fighting this invisible battle with a ghost that I like to call my ideal self, the version of me that is the best student, is the best athlete, and the best friend. But I was always only 90% of that ghost at best. If I focused on studies, then someone would become better than me at sports. If I focused on sports, then someone would start having better grades than me. I was a jack of all trades, but master of none. And since then, by far the most important skill that I've had to accept in my life was to accept me being average at most things. So for example, when I was 16, I was really into running. I wanted to be in the best shape possible. I was running like 3-4 times a week. But as time went on and as life moved on, I had other goals that became my priority. And all of a sudden, I found myself running not because I wanted to get better, but simply because I didn't want to become worse than my past self. I just couldn't stand the idea of losing a race to my 16-year-old self. It was only after a lot of years and a lot of talks with myself that I had to accept that I will be average at most things if I want to be great at a couple of things. So let's just say that I wanted to prioritize my studies. Even if I knew that I wasn't working out as often because I was studying, deep down, I have this little voice inside of me that said, you know what? 3 months ago, you were stronger than you are right now. And it's like, yeah, but I improved on this thing, on what I wanted to improve. It's like, yeah, you did, but this thing, you were better when you were younger. The hard part is figuring out which things are you willing to sacrifice. What are you willing to suck at for the rest of your life so that you can be amazing at that one thing. Nowadays, it feels liberating. It feels liberating to know that I don't have to be the best at everything. If I meet someone that is able to sing better than me, I just applaud them for it. I don't feel like my self-worth has decreased just because someone is better at me in something that I have never practiced. Realizing that I'm not trying to be an elite at everything helped me to focus my time and my effort on a small set of skills. I just wish I had 20 different lives to live out all of my dreams, but I don't. I have one, which I am extremely grateful for. So if you only take one thing out of this video, don't be afraid of being average at most things. As long as you are utilizing that time to become great and amazing at something, you should be proud of yourself. Just because your older version at 17 years old was able to run faster, it doesn't mean that you got lazy or that you lost value. It just means that you are focusing on something else. So, with that said, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.